ke kopa ho fitisa lower province molaetsa ona o mokgutshwanyane lona ha ba le ntumella ke tla kopa ke nne ke tsebelo ka ha ke ntse ka wa pele ke o ba le ka sepuena ya sekgowa ke tla go fitlela hona ka kgutshwanyane ka puo ya Sesotho. Having read the message of the Superior General Father Louis Logan OMI on the occasion of the 194th anniversary of our constitutions and rules being approbated by the Church, as I was going through the message of the one on the chair of St. Eugene de Mazenod, I was touched by his usage of the pronoun we. In all the missionary activities that he mentions, he doesn't say some oblates, some people, or other part of our congregation. Instead, he says, we do this and that. This is a pronoun of togetherness, unity, collaboration, and community. May I invite you to focus on this communitarian idea of the Superior General. When the Church talks about religious life, the element of community is always essential. Community life has its basic biblical inspiration from the first community in Acts of the Apostles chapter 2 verse 42. The same community that the Church referred to in her documents, especially Perfecte Caritatis article number 15 and Canon 602. A community lives together mainly because the Lord has brought members together and unites them with a special charism or consecration for the good and the mission of the Church. Our Constitution number 11 says, I quote, "Our mission is to proclaim the kingdom of God, seek it before all else." Confirm Mark chapter 6 verse 33. We fulfill this mission in community, and our communities are a sign that in Jesus, God is everything for us. End of quote. A community thus becomes a sacred milieu, as it is for the Church, a continuation of the apostolic community gathered around Jesus Christ to learn from him, imitate him, and later to be other Christ. It accepts that Trinity is active in our lives constantly, creating, healing, freeing, encouraging, calling us forth, and uniting with us in our sorrows and joys, in our trials and triumphs, in good and bad times. The community is, as explained by Amedeo Cencini, a place par excellence where education, formation, accompaniment take place. The community educates. This is the primary role of community. When living alone, one perceives himself as the one and perfect person and a model to all others. Then egoism, narcissism, envy, jealousy, dictatorship begins to find themselves a home in such an individual. This becomes a serious threat to collaborative tasks in the mission of the Oblates and of the Church. Whereas with the community, one learns more about oneself and realizes one's own level of maturity, areas requiring adjustment or improvement. Again, individual virtues are improved within a community because one is exposed to real life. The positive spirit of competition encourages one to do his best and mature in virtue and personal human relations. The community forms. It shapes a person and assists him or her to assume the figure of the institute. The experience of community life with all its happy and sad moments builds our fraternity among members and imbues them with a good sense of the charism. Community accompanies. It provides instruction to good human and Christian life. This accompaniment is to be understood etymologically in the sense of sharing bread of the journey, kumpani. The same faith, same charism, the same joy belonging to God. Thus the community becomes a family that shares the meal of fraternity daily until the end of the journey. The community is in a way a God-given environment for growth with the help of others. Hence, it is correct to say that those who either physically or psychologically live out of community deny themselves blessings of being accompanied. It might sound a bit exaggerated to say community is holy, but actually it has to be understood that even though the community is made up of unholy individuals, it is still the most perfect place to be. An oblate who lacks community spirit is likely to be frustrated and therefore become a problem to the mission. An oblate who still perceives other members in terms of race, color, tribe, nationality, etc. is but a product of non-oblate community spirit. We can learn the importance of community spirit from the expressions we use on a daily basis, like no man is an island and a man is a social being. At a deeper level, community is like a home. It is more than teamwork or group work. A team or a group is usually orientated towards fulfillment and successes, resulting from obtaining material goods for the betterment of life and satisfaction. Individuals usually gain the happiness after reaching a goal, which at times means others have lost something, got defeated, or are outclassed. But a community becomes special when we want to succeed, all of us, and we want joy and happiness for each member. Even though we talk so many things about community, we have to acknowledge that there is a challenge facing community life. And in actual fact, there is one main challenge to community life that gives birth to other challenges. And that challenge is community is interest versus individual's interest. Community versus individual. That's the main challenge, our interests, priorities. While it is still very difficult to express this challenge as it is, there are expressions and other statements that reflect its presence in one's own mind. Statements like, there is hunger and poverty where I'm staying, so I can't live with another oblate because Kyalapa. The immediate questions are as follows. That comes to one's mind. What is it that my brother oblate is eating that he can't share with others? Secondly, why do we imagine that the brother oblate who is coming to join the community will only consume and not contribute? Where do we get the education, formation, and accompaniment without the context of community? Do we realize at times that the decline in our interpersonal relations may be a product of the absence of community? In actual fact, we might not be having very serious problems as community, but it might be that at times we have prioritized our personal space over the oblate religious values. May we ask God to help us to defeat our personal interests for the good of the community interest, so that at the end we can use the language we like the Superior General has done. In this kind of challenge, like the General said when he's concluding his message, he said, I'm not only inviting you, but I'm also challenging you. I think the challenge has fallen in hearing ears here in Lesotho, because there is a dream of the province. It is the dream of the province of Lesotho that all oblates live in communities. However, we are still faced with some challenges, like shortage of personnel, geographical setups of our countries, Lesotho and Botswana. Traveling is at times very difficult, for we could otherwise close some places of residence and stay in one place and serve other missions from one home, but traveling becomes a big problem. There is an intention to revitalize community spirit among us by even promoting district communities. We have different ways of living in communities, as we learn in Constitution number 77 and Rule 77A of the Oblates. When talking about the district communities, Constitution number 77 and Rule 77A indicate that they are meant for those who live alone and not in a formal or local community. Without contradicting the Constitution and rules in these difficult times of us in Lesotho province, seemingly losing the spirit of community, the Provincial Council, assembled in November and December 2019, recommended that we start district communities inclusive of all oblates, whether in formal communities or alone. thus grouping them according to the different geographical regions. The idea is to promote the spirit of togetherness. Our unity is under a difficult challenge. Our differences are growing stronger than our unity, and oneness encourages it. The Council further recommends that the names of the districts should be the names of oblate saints, oblate heroes, or even oblate values, because some districts are going to be made up of oblates from different dioceses and different civil districts for practical reasons. There is an invitation to live in the way of Father General's letter. Let us hate living alone, love living in community. I also, together with the Provincial Council, the Provincial Administration, would like to wish you a happy feast, and may God unite us together in communities. Thank you.